Hey, Dustin Hockensmith here with another edition of the Baltimore Ravens Blitz. Looking ahead to Week 9, an AFC North showdown. Ravens, Steelers coming up. Ravens have some issues to resolve going into that matchup. They've lost a few games now, 3 out of 4. They sit at 4-4 right now. And I think the way they dropped the 4-4 has the organization, at least from the outside looking in, the perception of it shaken a little bit. They give up 386 yards of offense to the Carolina Panthers. They lose 36-21. They had problems with some misdirection. The way that Panthers offense is built, it's built to score some points now. I think they're a dangerous team in the NFC. That is worth saying for sure. But at different times, Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore created some big plays, yards after catch situations. The Ravens have to tighten up that defense a little bit. Offensively, Joe Flacco, not his best performance of the year. 192 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. You saw Lamar Jackson, when this game got out of hand late, came in and showed that upside that made the Ravens pursue him in the first place. And that has Ravens fans excited about the possibilities he brings to the table. It'll be interesting to see if Flacco has any kind of prolonged slump, if Lamar Jackson maybe gets a shot through a 26-yard dart to Hayden Hurst, another rookie, for a touchdown late in that game in garbage time. So it'll be interesting to see his playmaking ability. They need some of that on the Ravens offense right now. They brought that in via trade this week. Ty Montgomery, the Green Bay Packers running back, a former wide receiver, converted running back, comes off a performance against the Los Angeles Rams where a lot of people laying some blame at his feet late in that game with the Packers down a field goal. Kind of ill-advised to bring a kickoff out of the end zone. And his motivations for doing so were questioned. He ended up on the trade block. The Ravens traded a 7th-round pick in 2020 to bring in Montgomery, maybe juice up that offense a little bit. Certainly from a third down receiving role, bring some upside to the table. This Ravens offense, number 24 in rushing offense. So they needed a spark somehow, some way. Maybe they found it here with Ty Montgomery. It's worth saying, as you're talking about struggles at 4-4, Ravens were 4-5 last season. They might not be that far off. You know, this franchise built on playing really tough, sound defense. I think you could say that they're going to get back to that. If that offense can find some consistency, maybe they found a spark with Ty Montgomery. You could be in business looking forward. A key stretch of games ahead, 3 straight at home, will determine where the Ravens are going from here. All right, that key stretch starts right now for the Ravens. The home games, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Oakland. Certainly in the AFC North right now with the Baltimore Ravens sitting in 3rd place with a 4-4 record. Those Pittsburgh and Cincinnati games will be key for them. Oakland, a team that's starting to rebuild a little bit, playing them at home is a must-win. I think you could probably say 2-1 minimum out of this 3-game stretch if you want to see this Ravens team really push forward and make good on their potential. It starts with the Steelers right now. This is a team they beat 26-14 back in Week 4. They've gone in 2 different directions since then. Ravens 1-3 since beating the Steelers. Steelers 3-0, averaging 34 points per game over that 3-game winning streak. Last week they beat the Browns 33-18 to win their 3rd straight game. They were coming off a bye in that game. Interestingly enough, after that game, the Browns fire head coach Hugh Jackson, fire offensive coordinator Todd Haley. Steelers kind of forced that action a little bit. James Conner, another big day with 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ben Roethlisberger fractured a finger on his non-throwing hand. They say he will play through it. I don't suspect that will be an issue against the Ravens. Another thing for this Steelers team, it was a big win, not just for wins and losses, for the city of Pittsburgh. You had 11 people killed in a synagogue shooting out there. Ben Roethlisberger saying if they could just bring a sense of relief and distraction only for a few hours, they were happy to do that. A win certainly helps a little bit in that healing process. So the emotion of that, they ended up going to a funeral of 2 brothers of a former Steelers staff member. So emotional feeling in the city of Pittsburgh. They give a little bit of a lifting win going into this matchup with the Ravens. All right, some things to watch in this showdown with the Ravens. As I mentioned before, 26-14, the Ravens got the better end of the Steelers. The Steelers' offense has come a long way since then. But looking at matchups here, the Ravens' run game, I'm curious to see how this looks. You get Ty Montgomery in there on a short week coming in on Tuesday. You add him to Buck Allen, you add him to Alex Collins. Do the Ravens change anything up with that mixture, and can the Steelers slow that run game down? Flacco versus the Steelers' pass defense. The Steelers' pass defense is a unit that's showing some signs of life, showing that they're making steps in the right direction. Flacco, I think you'd maybe say the opposite right now. This would be a good time for Flacco to bust out of a little mini funk and deliver one of his better games of the season would help determine the outcome of this game for the Ravens. And the Ravens defense, can they bounce back? Uncharacteristic against the Panthers to give up 36 points in that matchup. Steelers do some really good things offensively as well. They held them to 14 points the first time around. Can you keep them south of 20? If they can, I think they got a good shot of winning this game. So who's going to win the rematch? Ravens-Steelers. Aaron Kasinitz, our beat reporter for the Ravens, joins us right now to give us his lowdown on the matchup and his prediction for the game.
Now, the Ravens are kind of on the brink here. They've lost 2 in a row. They're back to 4-4. And in the locker room after that loss in Carolina last week, a lot of players said we need to get this turned around. We need to win probably 5 or 6 of our last 8 to make the playoffs. And the key to do that against the Steelers is to do exactly what the Ravens did last time when they beat the Steelers in Week 4. They have to contain that Pittsburgh passing game. The Ravens did a great job of not allowing explosive plays. They held the Steelers without a point in the second half. Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown didn't have a great connection the last time the Ravens-Steelers played. If the Ravens can continue playing pass defense that well, they'll have a shot to beat the Steelers here in Week 9 and maybe get their season turned and headed in the right direction.
All right, Steelers 3-point road favorites coming into M&T Bank Stadium, a statement to where these teams are going, the direction that they're going coming into this matchup. I like the trends to continue a little bit. I do like the Steelers to score some points. 27-20, I've got it in favor of the Steelers. We will see what happens on Sunday. Feel free to jump in the YouTube comments. Tell us how wrong we are for this one. And while you're there, subscribe to the PennLive YouTube channel. Be sure to join us all season long here on PennLive.com.